to the pseudonym social Halloween special to end a curse. To get the holiday spirit, I decided to write a one-shot and gave myself a week to do it. I have my usual crew here from the Worldly Opal Star, but I decided to bring in some members of the community as well. Let's get to the introductions.
Hello, I'm Casey, and today I'm going to be playing Olus, the Tiefling Ranger.
Yeah, I want to know about you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
You know about Casey, me, the person?
Yeah.
Okay. I work in a nonprofit animal clinic, and I like to ghost hunt when I can.
Oh, that's really exciting.
That's awesome.
Have you played the game Phasmophobia that just came out recently?
I have not, because I'm also a massive baby. And I get scared so easily.
So am I. And yesterday, a buddy of mine got me to download and play that. Yeah. And it is spooky. But it is, it's all ghost hunting, and you use different tools to figure out what kind of ghost you're dealing with. And then it tries to kill you.
That actually really does sound
But it's very scary.
So, So the shirt I'm wearing is actually from the theater that I ghost hunt at most often.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
oh, that's exciting.
Alexis helped occasionally. I have been acting at that theater since I was 6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really cool theater.
Yeah, and it is almost 100 years old. We just celebrated the theater's 95th anniversary recently.
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool.
Awesome. I'm Victor. I'm normally playing Florida. Currently, don't have a job. Thank you, 2020.
Same, homie!
And, I don't know, the theme for this year has been Animal Crossing and D&D. So, yeah. I am playing...
Not a bad theme.
That's a fantastic thing.
Playing a man that, in rumors, is probably just kind of referred to as the Hunter. He doesn't try to talk to a lot of people. He only carries a dagger on him.
Is he nude besides?
Nah, he's dressed in the nice edgy, black leather trench coat, a variety of belts.
Yes.
The more belts, the stronger the person.
Exactly. There's just a whole variety of them.
He's got 5 belts right now. When he hits level 6,
At least.
He gets a new one.
Exactly. And
Yes.
Thank you, Mysterious. Known for taking jobs to go kill things.
Necklace of vampire teeth. Don't forget that part.
Also that is kind of more difficult thing to see, but yes, he does wear a necklace of vampire teeth. Who knows how many of those vampires are actually dead?
Ooh.
They may or may not be things that he can actually track them later and go finish them off. But
they're either dead or really pissed off.
Yes. They're either dead or really kooky looking with one tooth.
Yeah.
Come on, I need that for the thing I do with my mouth.
Just took away what I could do. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Alexis. Hi. Right now, I work at a sort of university bookstore, so that's fun. So, well, it is fun. It's just we have a lot more apparel than books, so
it's more of a clothing store that just
sometimes
has books
aggravating, but it's fine.
It's a clothing store that students can go to pay way too much.
But some of the stuff is cool.
They will
getting
pay you
flashbacks to Southern
$5 to
Same.
get the book back.
Let's see. Other than that, I've been helping out for the past year or two at the theater that Casey.
I dragged her into it. We were hanging out, and she came with me, and then
acting
she never left.
And I've helped out with the.
That's how we do things. We just kidnap each other into stuff and then never let each other go.
Love it.
Yeah. And then I've also been playing a lot of Animal Crossing and such. So yeah. Oh, and my character. Yes. Sorry. I am playing a drow warlock named Onre. Let's see. She's reserved, not necessarily impolite, just she finds it better to keep to herself in a good amount of cases. She can find it hard to trust people. And she has a familiar whose name is Yindris, who is adorable.
Love that.
Yeah. One of her forms is a silver pseudo-dragon.
And I take it you're Warlock Pact of the Chain?
No. Technically I'm Pact of the Tome, but one of the spells I have is
Ooh,
Find
love that.
Familiar, and this actually kind of goes into her backstory. Her patron gave her Yindris.
Warlocks are my favorite class, but the class that I've never actually played in a one-shot or anything. So I make them NPCs and when the campaigns I DM.
That's okay. Yeah, this is my first. This is my first class that has spells, really, and I chose Warlock, so that's gonna be interesting.
Warlock's pretty easy when it comes to spells because you only have 2 slots and they're the max slot level that you can have. So like you don't have to worry about upcasting, downcasting. Like, do I have the slot for that? It's just like, hey, yeah, I got 2 slots and cantrips, and then like the invocations that are like innate spells you can do.
And in all honesty, Warlocks really only have 1 spell that they should be casting.
Yep.
Eldritch Blast.
So like you're gonna be
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast is the best cantrip. But yeah, no, Warlock. I love Warlocks just because they're very modular. Like you could have 2 Warlocks, same patron, same pact, and same alignment, but they could have completely different invocations and be very, very, very different in terms of how they function. So I think Warlocks are just so variable, and I love it.
just a turret from Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back on track, introducing our lovely guests. Let's start with Wade. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the show you're on and who you're playing today? So I'm all about that shameless self-promo. Go for it.
Right on. As for myself, my main job is painting cars. It's definitely not as glamorous as someone would think. I do a bit of photography, and then I edit and play and DM and basically everything else for Not Quite Heroes currently, which is another, I guess now formerly 5e actual play. We've kind of opened up a little bit more to that. That's really about it for me.
Can't help but notice those guitars in the background there, bud.
Yeah, that's a previous life, let's say.
Previous life.
Yeah.
I
I
love
don't
that.
have enough time to really get into those as much anymore.
So, question
Uh-huh.
for you then, Wade. Hi, I'm David. Nice to meet you.
Hey.
When you say paint cars, is it like West Coast Customs, like flame decals and stuff?
No, it's the much more boring cousin of that, which is just like
East
automotive
Coast.
repair.
Oh, that's still pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie. That's mad cool. Well done.
Appreciate
So who
it.
are you playing today?
Yeah, I'll be playing Ezra Bishop, the half-elf rogue, who's just trying to get out of the business.
You just want to retire, dang it.
Just wants to be done with this life.
Just one last job.
Is she like over the hill? Or he?
No, not especially. We're just kind of tired of doing it,
Love that.
you know. Wants to settle down. Life's too short nowadays.
I'm gonna send an image of what our of what our party looks like, just because we're so edgy, so freaking edgy. I love it.
All right, David Goodwald, who wants to go next?
Take it, groups.
Oh my.
So I'm Goodval. I know it's a weird name. It's Swedish. I was a bartender, and then COVID took that away. So right now I'm just chilling. I am one of the players on From Afar podcast's Quest for Atlantis campaign, and I've been doing a lot of D&D. I've been playing D&D since 5th edition came out. I played a little bit of 3.5 prior to that. Primarily, I do DM, but on the most major thing that we've done, I get to be a player, which has been the best. But yeah, other than that,
Still screaming about that last episode on the inside. Still screaming on the inside.
That was a fun one.
Where did our live episodes end? Because I always get confused on where the episodes are and where we are.
The big symbol on the wall.
Ooh!
It's a good one.
We don't got to focus on that right now. But yeah, no, I'm a very passionate bartender. I like the craft cocktails and constantly trying to up my game, create new cocktails. I recently discovered the trick to making clear ice, which is just aesthetic. And yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I like games, D&D, and bartending. Oh, and I'm playing Kramus. Kramus Nira. I don't know how to say her last name, Dave.
Hey, you want to know a secret?
Nerlian.
Neither do I. So,
Kramus Nerlian.
Nerlian works well.
Kramus is a big old half-orc barbarian who, during the lifetime of this call, became a very cockney-looking half-orc. But yeah, his main goal is just to protect Varus. He's a big hitter, but he knows he doesn't know what's right. So he lets Varus decide who he's hitting and doesn't worry too much past that. Yeah.
That's fun. And
I have food, so I'm going to go quiet for just a second.
I'm bothering my mom about, can you bring me food, please? Because I'm hungry.
I have a sandwich from Starbucks sitting here, and I'm just trying very hard not to eat it, not look like a barbarian on camera in front of you all.
I don't think any of us are going to judge because I feel like a lot of us are actually going to end up eating during this.
Yeah, no, I am because I have blood sugar issues and I'm starting to shake.
Get it, dog. Get it.
AC, if you don't eat, I'm going to boot you from this call until you do.
I'm going. I'm sorry.
I can be aggressively protective of my friends.
Yeah, no. Go eat, please. Casey, please. Oh.
Do it. Literally eat.
She just has Discord and Shard up on her phone while she's driving over.
Alexis, what are you doing? Hold on, I'm turning left.
Actually, I could go over
18
to
to
her
hit.
house and knock on the door and be like, please eat. Casey, please.
Well, I am David Tilstra. I am the DM for From Afar podcast. We've been doing this for a little over a year now, something like that. Yeah, I've been playing D&D for a little over a year now, so pretty much started. No, that's a lie. We ran some Storm King's Thunder before we did From Afar podcast, and then
He says, for a year.
For a year. Yeah, so I've been playing for like a little more than 2 years. I live in Los Angeles. I sometimes make movies. Most of the time I play video games. Today I will be playing Varus Nerlian. And I'm a half drow and also the half brother of Kramus. So we look nothing alike, but we do share a common parent. And I don't know how that's going to work out in game, but it sounded fun, so we're going to go for it. I am a monk, Way of the Shadow, and like my two other edgy friends here, lots of black, lots of belts. Yeah, that's pretty much all I need to know about it. I'm very excited to be here also. This is going to be very fun. I've been listening to Opal Star for a while, and definitely just added Not Quite Heroes to the list, so going to be hitting that up as soon as I can.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
We've done the same over here already.
Hell yeah.
So, it's familiar with how I tend to mumble and BS my way through stuff. You're familiar with the edited version of how I BS it as I go.
That's very much how we do it over at From Afar too. We edit the crap out of our show.
Yep.
And yet, there's some times where I'm like, wow, we left that in, didn't we?
Yeah, that's the joke we went with. Another joke about pooping. Okay, all right, here we go.
Yeah. I should probably introduce... Yeah, I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Brianna. I am the DM and everything for Aboard the Opal Star, which is full of space pirate shenanigans and lots of fun twists and unintentional character trauma for one character in particular recently. I swear that was not intentional.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Just the dice rolls worked out that way. I promise. It's not my fault. Someone can't get lower than a 20 on their wisdom checks except for that one time.
It's either a 20 or a 1 with me. 1 to attack, 20 for my wisdom check with no modifier.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
I also do Tales of Adventure, which is I sit and talk to people's characters in character for an hour, and it's a lot of fun. And I just decided it would be kind of fun to do a Halloween thing that is not directly Opal Star related, so I talk my players into it and then kidnap some other people into it, and yeah, so here we are.
Also, Dave, I just got your joke for the screenshot of who we're
Thanks.
all playing.
Appreciate it.
I was like, oh, his photo's not loading. And I was like, this is the joke, isn't it?
It loaded. It's just a black square. That's how edgy we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with this. So, we find ourselves in a town with a long and somewhat forgotten history that has gone by many names. Today it is known as Eve's Hollow, named so after the woman who helped guide the town to prosperity, and the hollowed out mines that exist far underground. Started as a small hamlet, has grown into a thriving trade hub, drawing in merchants from all over. Here we find people of all races and backgrounds working side by side to help grow each other's businesses. It is by no means a perfect place, but it has grown much in the past few generations. Like any other town, Eve's Hollow has had its share of monsters and hauntings, and attempted invasions by armies of goblins, orcs, and the rare undead horde. You can see signs of its storied past and the defenses still left in place, from hideaways dotted throughout the streets to sigils carved into the door frames on most buildings. The past few years have been mostly peaceful, though there's still some crime and so forth, as in any big city. Adventurers often come to the city to find work helping escort merchants, clearing out the mines, or dealing with any of the strange beasts that sometimes prowl the surrounding farmlands. Eve's Hollow is a good place to trade what you have for whatever it is you need. This is where we find our group of adventurers. Within the past week, you were all approached by a friendly stranger with kind eyes who offered you a job. He had something he wanted you to help set right, and in return, he offered each of you a handsome reward you could not turn down. He invites you all to meet him at his manor just outside of town to discuss details over dinner. All agree. Night has come for the dinner, and you all arrive one by one to the manor. It is a large 2-story building made of a mixture of white and gray stones that glitter in the remains of daylight. There are large windows spaced evenly across the floors with curtains drawn tight. The grounds around the manor are as well kept as they can be, given that winter has begun its approach. Flowering bushes and vines line the side of the building, framing the walkway and stairs leading to the front door. You were all given a rough time to arrive, but who gets there first?
First.
Yeah.
Collectively, we all show up barely on time at the same time.
Well, so I'd venture to say that Kramus urged Varus. I just realized both of our names end in S. Nice.
Nice.
You never want to be the last one to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to show up and scout it out first. So I'd imagine maybe the two of us show up first.
For sure. And I feel like we're like looking around trees and walls like, wait, is anyone else here? Like, we're like sneaking and trying to like make sure we're not like, yeah, with you.
We the only two that got invited.
Well, brother, I would hope not, because this job sounded more intense than just the two of us could handle. But let us proceed forward and see if any others have arrived.
Right.
The way he described the job, it sounded like you weren't the only ones invited, but you don't know for sure how many people will arrive.
Do we wait outside? Oh, do we not?
Can I do a percepti check?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. I just like rolling dice.
Brother, what do your elf eyes see?
They're half elf eyes, and you've done this joke so many times, Kramus. But where is my perception? There it is. That's a 23. I'm looking. I just want to see if anyone else is like skulking around or sneaking around.
Oh, is anyone else skulking and sneaking?
It's really sneaky.
Just how early are you showing up?
I would imagine if the meeting was set at like 7, we arrived at like 7:01. Like fashionably late.
Not what I meant when I said we should get here early, brother.
Because I was going to say that Mr. Andrew, which is his first name, would probably be arriving precisely on time. He's a consummate businessman. So you might notice him just walking down the street.
Got it.
And do you want to tell us a little bit more about what he looks like, or?
Well, he's a rather nondescript human.
It's the belts for me.
Relatively long hair, yes, of a host of belts.
Yes.
2 of them holding a dagger to his right thigh. Nice trench coat. It's actually not entirely black. It's more of a navy blue, which is what he's wearing. Because it turns out blood doesn't show up on navy blue as well as it does on black. So you're not exactly clear on exactly how clean this man is. He's not clean shaven in any way, shape, or form. Looks like he's traveling, carrying a pack with him, bedroll with him. Might have just rolled into town. Rolled into town from jobs that he's overlapping. So he's just coming in from a recent job.
Tight. You would see in Varys, fairly tall, like slender, dark-skinned drow, but like not quite as dark-skinned as you've seen around, because he's a half drow, and you can see he has long white hair pulled back in like a low ponytail kind of thing, but it's also like shot through with like streaks of black. And probably one of the more striking features about Varys is he doesn't have like dark purple or like black eyes. He has like bright, clear blue eyes. So in regards to drow, it's like, oh wow, this person looks kind of like a drow, but then as you get a close look, it's like, oh no, this clearly not full drow. And in spooky fashion, very, very dark clothes, at least 5 belts, legs, arms, waist, bandolier style, and a long black like cloak with like the hood pulled up.
I do have the high collar going on, the aesthetically satisfying trench coat collar that's way up high, and his hair is like is pretty long and kind of relatively curly.
Awesome.
And a question about the world, maybe a little bit. What is the relationship between the drow and overland people? Is it unusual for me to be seeing one?
So you're not going to see them like all over the place, but I feel like there's probably enough living on the surface where like it's not super weird. It's just like, oh, huh. And then you walk on.
So probably wave. Maybe it's just the looking like chin up thing, like what's up?
If you like started to wave, Varys started to, but then you did the chin thing and he put his hand down and was like, yeah.
We're trying to be cool. We're trying to be cool. Yeah.
You almost let it slip, brother.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if I should be friendly or not. I'm just so confused with the life I've chosen.
Kramis standing next to Varys. He's not like the tallest man. He's probably like, I don't know, 5'10", but he is very stocky build, half orc, and he does look pretty much like that picture. He's just wearing like the plaid, like sort of patch hole pants with like suspenders and a white cloth buttony sort of shirt with that floppier collar, and he just looks like a very ham hock of a man.
You both kind of look like you live on the streets, because I'm pretty sure you both live on the streets.
We do.
We're urchins.
Urchins.
That looks like I don't have a place to call home, so we're in good company.
So how do you all react when you see each other?
I guess if we kind of met, like, if it was like the gateway to this manor is like in the middle of the street, for example, if we were both walking from opposite sides, I feel like there would be sort of this moment of like, oh wait, are you going in here as well? And then after that kind of awkward moment, I think Varys would be like, oh, hello, are you here for this job as well? Because I think we've all been summoned by a mutual friend to complete some sort of task.
It sounded like it was quite lucrative.
It did. I'm Varys. Who might you be?
Nice to meet you. I'm Andrew.
It's nice to meet you, Andrew. This is my brother, Kramis. Introduce yourself. Don't be rude.
Hi, Kramis. He's not very good at the talking part.
Well, Mr. Andrew, would you care to accompany us in through to see what our destiny holds for us?
Seems like just a few people for a job of this size and payout.
Well, hopefully we get a bigger cut then. Shall we?
After you, sir.
I'll go up to the door and knock.
He's going to ask, were we at the gate or at the door, or what's the current scene?
There's
Okay.
not really a gate so much. It's just kind of like a wide open area, and then you can walk up to the door.
Are there like pillars
Ooh.
for maybe the awning or something like that towards the door.
Are you asking because you want to be perched up on something near the door?
I just want to step out from behind one.
Yes.
Yes, there's a pillar. And you can step out from behind it and be as dramatic as you want.
Okay. Then you'd see a fairly slender, dark cloaked, imagine, kind of half elf, slink out, and you're late.
Precisely on time.
What time were we supposed to get here? I thought we were early.
Yeah, I thought we were early as well. Oh gosh, this is bad impressions already. Oh no. Hello, friend. Are you the one that we've been sent here to meet?
No, we've worked together.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Have you forgotten so quickly?
Varus, it's Ezra. Come on.
It's been one hell of a day. I'm so sorry.
As soon as I see Ezra come out, I'm going to emerge from the darkness into the light because I am invisible in the dark.
Gloomstalker.
Gloomstalker. I am invisible in the darkness. And this dark midnight blue tiefling with bright yellow eyes just emerges, horns that curl up behind her head, and on the horns is a longbow placed on top of them. She has a quiver at her hip. She's wearing sort of dark leather armor.
Like full longbow? Like you can't walk through a doorway?
Maybe just hanging off of one of them.
Okay.
And they have short, choppy. It looks like whenever it just got too long, just took a knife to it, because that's exactly what they did. And the horns are decorated. You know how sometimes tieflings have jewelry?
Mm-hmm.
That, but it's all moss and vines and some leaves. As soon as they see Ezra, they're going to approach.
Ezra, is that one of your lads?
Yeah, we're cordial.
We have met before.
What's your name, stranger?
Polis.
I'm Kramus, and this is my brother Varus. He's trying to get me to be better at introductions and the like, so it's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm so proud of you, brother. Oh, yes.
I like your moss stuff. It's nice.
My tribe did this for me.
She's got a tribe. She's like us. We're a tribe of two, though.
I think we're going to be very fat friends.
Well, now I am a tribe of one. My tribe is back in the forest.
Oh, they're not like dead or anything. They're just not here. God, I thought you meant they had died, and I was going to be very sad.
I can see how that would be confusing. I apologize.
It wouldn't be that mean during a one-shot.
That's amazing.
Oh, looks like we got a whole bunch ready to go.
So at that point, Henri, this pretty tall, slender drow female with long silver hair, I'd say probably black clothing, walks up. Her skin is dark gray. She has lavender eyes. You notice a couple things about her. She has a sword on one hip and then a large tome sort of strapped in on the other with leather that's sort of holding it to her, sort of across her body. And then around her neck, she has this small dragon-like creature, silver in color, sort of looking around, but definitely staying by its mistress. And the book, you can only see that it's also a dark color. It is definitely black, and then you cannot see any symbol or design on it at this angle.
Oh, it's been too long.
So I'd come up, say, "Oh, hello there. It's good to see you again, Kramus, Varus."
The out of character in our past, how comfortable would you have been with Varus like scritching the chin of the suit of the dragon? Because I feel like he would have tried that first time, and if he got his finger bit, or if you were all like, "Yeah, don't do that," he wouldn't have tried it again.
I would say, here's the thing. At first, Yes, but I'd say since we did spend a few days together, and since Honoré trusts you a bit more now than she did before, her familiar would sort of flap over to you for a moment, get like a chin scratch, and then go back.
I was about to say, Kramus is like, and how's your little Muppet doing? She feeding you, right?
Yes, Yenna's doing fine. Thank you for asking. She's being her usual quiet self.
Oh, we got some old faces and some new. It's going to pay off to be a fun little bunch.
Yes, I don't believe I've met the rest of you. What are your names?
I'm Ezra.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Bliss.
It's nice to meet you, Collis. And you, sir?
I'm Andrew.
All right. I'm not sure we're going to get any more surprise visitors. Something tells me that's everybody.
Yes, I didn't see anyone else heading this way. So.
All right. Boris, shall I knock?
Please, brother, but be careful. This door looks very nice. I don't want it to be broken before we even enter.
I don't think he's the one you have to worry about breaking doors.
Kramus like rolls his sleeves up, and then he's just like, ding, ding.
Okay, so you knock and you just hear this voice saying, "Come on
Sorry,
in."
I just got the joke about the doors.
A bit of an inside joke. Only half of y'all would get it.
Everyone else hear the voice say, come on in. I feel like it's safe.
It just sounded like there was someone on the other side of the door telling you to come in.
Is it push? Is it pull? I don't want to look like a chump out here.
Most doors into houses do tend to open out, I believe.
I think so, yeah. Or
It's gonna be like a typical front door. It's like a double door, but
He grabs the handle and like pushes a little bit, and he's like, no, and pulls.
well done, brother. Well done. So proud of you.
you guys walk into parlor room. There's some chairs. There's like a little coat rack in one place. It's like big open. It's very clean. It's very nice. Marble floors, decorations everywhere, and there's a double door right here. If you look closely, you can kind of see these two doors over here, but they're a lot smaller. So y'all just kind of go in, and there's no one there.
I would like to look around my surroundings to see if there's anybody there, but also to see, as we're entering a building, what kind of tactical advantage people would have on us as we walk in. 'Cause I'm paranoid.
Roll perception. Perception.
Straight nat 1. +5 up to 6, but still. That's a good first roll.
Hey, get those bad rolls out of the way now.
Nothing sketchy.
You're standing behind Kramus, and he's just like taking
I'm
up
just like
all of
trying to
your
look around, like
a box of a man.
No, all right. So, yep.
Yeah, as
All
you
right.
try to like look one way, he kind of turns that way and turns the other.
I would also like to roll a perception check for generally the same thing.
For a while, I give up.
Okay, go for it.
It's much better. That is
So that's. I think you could, if you click on, if you click on the thing, it'll roll the check for you in Shard.
that's fine. I'm just gonna roll my dice.
That's how I got that one, so I don't know if I'm going to be continuing that.
I got a 20. Not a natural 20, just a 20.
Ooh.
There's not really any place where you could find cover if something were to happen, but it would also be like anyone coming in wouldn't really have any cover. You do notice the two kind of hidden doors on the side. Actually, no. Varys would not realize why those doors are a little more hidden, but it's like a single door. She grew up in the woods. She's not going to realize this. It's not a thing she'd realize. But yeah, there's not a lot that looks like it would be hiding anything. There's like some really fancy paintings on the wall of like landscapes.
Alice is singularly unimpressed with all of that.
Anyone else noticed that a voice said to come inside?
Yeah.
There's nobody actually
I did.
inside.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Can't remember if there's actually a roll for that or if it just kind of happens.
No, it's just casting time, and then they get to see different colors for different magics.
Mhm.
And it would just be in the room, right?
Anywhere within 30 feet. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
I'm adding y'all to the map.
Nice.
I'm also dragging you
Hooray.
back to where you would actually be, which is
We're
not
present.
in that room. Yeah, I knew I was forgetting
dude.
something. I don't know why it keeps popping y'all in the middle. I'm like, that is not where you're supposed to be. So I do believe you should be able to move yourselves. I'm just kind of all are like back here. The whole thing is when you click and drag, it actually shows you distances,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
And as opposed to roll 20.
You have to figure out which tool actually does that.
So smart.
I can never remember. I love this.
Also, seeing everyone's name spelled out is very nice. Like, Bishop's a freaking amazing name. The way you spelled Andrew, oh, perfect. I love it all.
Andrew.
I'm good at finding and making friends with other story nerds.
Based off of the first name of one of the conductors for the Berlin Phil. Just like
Nice.
that's just random, you know.
Yeah, so when you cast, there's something near the door, but it doesn't feel like it's active. It's just kind of, a lot of buildings will have like sort of like a basic alarm spell. It's kind of like the magical equivalent of like turning your security alarm on. It doesn't look like it was on. It hasn't triggered anything. It's just there, but you don't really pick up anything else. Also, like
Okay.
background, if any of you had like asked sort of questions about the House of People around town, they would mention like it belongs to an old money family that have been pretty reclusive in the past couple of years. Like no one's really seen them. When you walk in, this place it's very clean. Looks like it's been very well kept. It's just there's no one in the room.
Well, don't think we're going to find much standing around. Hello, we're here for the job.
I'm so proud of you, Varys.
No response.
You mean Kramus?
Kramus. No, I was
You're
talking about
very proud of yourself.
I
You're proud of
remember
yourself for teaching Kramus.
exactly. Oh, Varys, you did such a good job of teaching this one.
I think. Are these 2 double doors right here?
Here? Yeah. It's the wider ones
Yeah.
are going to be double doors.
Kramus is going to walk up and swing those doors open.
Before you do that, you do notice there is a note on the door.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on, I'll drop it in here, and you can read it. It's gonna be in common.
Kramus picks up the note, looks at it for a minute over, and then is like, I can't read it. Anyone else? It's got big words.
Kramus, hand me the piece of paper.
On a scale of 1 to 20, I've got about 8 when it comes to the intellect.
All right, so David, do you want to read it?
I will read it, yes. Varys clears his throat and he says, The Baroness cordially invites you to her soiree. Enter through these doors and the night will begin. Worry not about what lies behind, for what lies ahead is your true destiny. Well, that doesn't seem ominous at all. Shall we proceed forward?
Quick question, what is that?
Look at the wall behind us.
What's that S word mean?
Soiree, it's a party,
Ah,
really. It's a more high class.
all of them fancy words.
Which does not at all match anything about what the stranger told you what tonight would be.
Varys would turn to his new companions and very visibly, pull out one of his daggers and be like, Friends, things are not adding up. And in my experience, when things don't add up, they start to get rather violent. So I'm going to prepare myself for what's coming next.
So, Victor, you said something. What'd you say?
Yes, I turn around and I look at the door and the wall behind us after we close the door. Worried not about what's behind. I'm gonna worry about what's behind. I'm paranoid.
So you're looking back at the entrance? Or...
Yes.
There's another note. You caught me.
It's just a normal door. I mean, if you want, you can test it, if it'll open or anything.
Who cast the detect magic? Did you say anything about what you detected?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say, there's an alarm spell by the front door, but doesn't seem to be any other magic in this room.
And it felt like it was kind of a dormant spell, like something that had been laid there but hadn't been activated or triggered or anything.
Yeah, like a warding spell.
Been triggered. That's interesting.
Well, don't mind. I'll lead the way in case there's danger on the other side. I do believe that, just judging by everybody, y'all better at the snakies, and I'm probably better at the hitties.
Varys pulls his hood up. Yeah, sneaky.
And Kramus kicks the door open.
Straightens out the collar.
Wait, is this door a push or a pull? He goes to kick it open.
Roll me a strength
I like
check.
to think.
Bam!
I was gonna say I like to think he tries to like kick it open, but it's a pull, so it just stays shut. Just a straight strength check would be 18.
I'm so proud of you.
The door cracks and splinters, but it doesn't open.
Yep, it's a pull. Always got me with that one.
And then he just grabs the handle and pulls it open.
It opens with no problem.
What did I say about breaking doors, brother?
You said not the
That was
first
very-
one. You didn't say anything about this one.
I enjoyed that.
You got me there. You got me there.
I enjoyed that immensely.
Kramus.
See, she gets it.
They,
They get it.
thank you.
And Kramus steps through the door.
I think I'm going to like this, Collis.
So you find yourself in a large dining hall. There's like this big wooden table laid out in the middle. It's like very ornate. If any of you have ever been in like a house where like a noble person or something is throwing a party, they have the giant tables just absolutely surrounded by chairs. But when you go into this one, you look, there's only 6 chairs, 3 on each side. And then one that looks kind of more like a throne at the head. And there's still no one there. There's some like food laid out on the table. And along the walls, you can see there's portraits. And they more or less seem to be of the same 2 people. Right, you probably would guess that like a lot of people would have more of like family portraits, but it's a little odd that there's just the 2.
Can I go check out those portraits?
Go for it. Roll me investigation.
Investigation. Where are you? That is an 8, so I don't think I noticed the portraits.
They're just portraits. It's a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they would be married.
Okay.
You can't really glean a lot from them, and you've probably never. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you've been in a room quite like this, so you might not think anything of the fact that portraits are just different poses and stuff of the same 2 people. And it looks like it's kind of like throughout time.
Kind of feels like we're interrupting something.
I'm sort of just imagining the portraits with like progressively goofier and goofier poses as they try to think of more poses to do to make more portraits of.
It's like,
And I love that because like you have to
Yes.
stand still for the portrait for a while. So like they're like,
Or like the like finger guns.
you got it yet?
that's like a fantasy wedding booth photo.
Like the mental image, that's not what's going on here.
Got it.
Is anyone else investigating anything?
Yeah.
Or
I would like to investigate that food.
well, give me the roll.
That's another garbage roll. That's it for the shard dice. We're no longer using that. That's a 6 again.
Isn't
Okay.
detect magic? Isn't it like 10 minutes?
That is true.
But Alexis isn't here, so
Okay, and Alexis has stepped out and she will be back.
It lasts for
Um,
10 minutes.
perception check this room too. Why not?
Like I was kind of hoping one of y'all would try and go out because I had a thing for the door.
I mean, I will try to escape. I don't like being confined. You can't control this.
Maybe
You
while
looked at
everyone's looking at stuff, you're just like, I'm just going to try and see if I can get out of here and then go drag my brother out.
Mhm. Gotta protect the brother.
So, I mean, do you want to do that?
I think some people were trying to do some perceptions and stuff, so once that gets cleared up, I might.
Well, I protect you, though.
I got a 9 for perception. I see nothing.
Well, I would say nothing out of the ordinary. It's just everything about this place is weird.
If we're gonna do something that's not a roll, can we do it?
Yeah, Kramus was just going to start eating some of the, like, just grab a handful of, like, bread or something and start munching.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ezra would probably pick up a piece, just kind of idly looking at the portraits and not really thinking too much about it. Start munching on a small piece of bread.
So, Ezra, what you been up to since last time we saw you?
Just trying to make it through. Figure we had one big job left, and maybe then I can find somewhere a little bit more quiet.
You could always come stay with me in Varus.
I don't know that that's quiet.
Forrest like knocks over a vase in the background. Oh, sorry. Hey.
Well, I mean, no, it's the streets. I guess it's always pretty loud. Never mind, that's a bad idea.
Collis laughs at that.
Maybe.
So y'all are just casually eating the food?
I got him a vase once for his birthday.
Collis isn't touching the food. Collis does not trust any of this.
Yep.
Andrew literally is going into one of his pockets where he has rations and is pulling out his own jerky and is eating that instead.
The two of you that ate something
Oh, boy.
roll. Say con save.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Ooh.
Yeah, that tracks.
Nat 20, baby.
Hey!
So total, that's 26.
Not bad.
And Ezra, what'd you get?
I got an 11.
Ezra, as you take a bite, you just the second the food touches your tongue, you just immediately gag and spit it out. And let's roll another con save.
All right.
As Kramos, you notice that it's gross, but it's more of a controlled wah.
So sorry about that.
That's a 6.
Ooh.
You might lose a meal.
No.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
While they're eating this, I do want to small chat it up with Colas for a hot second because I think that this is going to be funny. Andrew's going to mention, idly chat to Colas.
Miss much, Alexis. We just had two people eat food probably shouldn't, and one of them ended up yakking it on the floor.
Kramus laughs and he's like, "You'd be surprised what I've eaten in my day. This is great."
Yeah, but even so, when you eat this, there's just a thing in your brain that immediately is don't need to eat this, and just spit it out.
Any trouble in the village since I was last there?
There has been war in Carson. Do our best, of course, but we have no holy men or women in our tribe. And I am only one.
Sounds like I have some plans in my future.
None of the type you generally hunt.
That's fair.
It has been difficult.
You know where I am, in case you need me.
I appreciate your very hunter.
And in the middle of the very edgy conversation about not the ones you usually hunt, just here behind us. What? Yeah, I kind of gathered the food is not good. Okay, that makes sense.
That could just be the food. I'm gonna try the wine.
So proud of you.
Kramus takes a swig of one of the goblets of wine.
It's wine that's been sitting out for a long time, so it's probably not great.
Is it vinegar yet, though?
Not quite, but almost.
Are there any bottles of it laying out still?
No.
Ah, darn. Kramus is don't recommend the wine. It's like bad Chianti. But and he grabs one of the loaves of breads and puts it in his little pocket.
Bad bread.
Later.
I might need this later.
Yeah.
To spit out. That's amazing. Can I go check out this door right here?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Is detect magic seeing anything for Alexis? Because your detect magic is still up, isn't it, Alexis?
It's concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yes. So do I see anything?
I mean, there's a hint of magic on the portraits, but it's more of it's someone a way to sort of preserve the integrity of the painting.
Okay.
Do you want to go and check out the food?
I will
actually investigate it.
Yeah, I will investigate it, not eat it. But yeah.
Right. Roll me investigation.
I got a 15.
I don't immediately notice anything about it, but you feel a very familiar voice in the back of your head warning you to not eat that.
Okay.
That tracks.
Okay. Yeah, then I'd say, I wouldn't eat that. Kramus, don't eat any more of that, please. No. Let's just...
You never know when you're going to find yourself in a pinch.
The urchin in us speaking.
Yes.
Food is food.
That...
Piece of jerky. Always be prepared.
But there's some food that will harm you. So just be very careful.
Appreciate that, love. So none for the little muppet then. And
No.
he takes a piece he'd ripped away and he just puts it back in his pocket.
Yeah, no, yeah, Yin would just sort of back up farther and
just slinking down the back of her cloak.
Yeah, because Yin has a tendency to sort of crawl over me. You probably have seen her crawl from my neck using my hair to get on top of my head. She's not.
You're just used to it at this point. Like, it doesn't even phase you, tugging away.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love that.
She does her own thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, as you guys are investigating, who has the highest passive perception? I'm trying to think.
Forget how to.
Mine is 13.
15,
It should say,
yeah.
it's like right below your
I have
HP.
15.
Yeah.
Mine is also 15.
Okay.
Mine's
Okay.
also 13.
Alright, Andrew, what are your passives?
Passive perception? Okay. I was
12.
like, wait a second, is that even possible?
Let me see what Yin's passive perception would be. Just
Yeah.
one moment. Come on. I don't need the picture. I just
DM, I do
There we go.
realize that I have not mentioned what magic item I'm carrying. That might be relevant. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it on your thing. I need to remind myself. what
Okay.
that is.
Yin's is 13, so it's slightly
That's
better.
pretty good.
Okay. Everyone who has a 13, you kind of, for a second, think you see something move, but it's one of those, like, out of the corner of your eye, and you don't really think it's something you actually saw. Anyone that has one of the higher perceptions, you see something, like, just very fast. Like, you can't quite catch it, but that it flew across and drops paper on the table.
Oh, well.
Did anyone else see that? There was something that. Oh, well, there's paper on the table. We should. He would go over and Varys would go over and check what's going on.
Across the ceiling?
Yeah, it was flying up near the ceiling. You don't know if it was on the ceiling, but it was, like, up above you.
Got it.
Would I have seen like an aura around it? Or well, I guess I wouldn't have, but would I have noticed any difference in the magic?
Not really, because I don't think it would have quite passed through the sphere, and it was moving really quickly.
Okay.
So even if there was something that pinged, I don't know if you'd be able to catch it.
Okay.
So you said you're picking it up and reading it?
Yes.
Well, that's a helpful item. Sorry.
Very much so.
Okay, so you pick up the paper, and this time it's in a very different handwriting.
hmm
And it just says things are not always as they appear.
I would relay that to the group.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because this job ain't what it appears so far.
This is true.
To you more and more like, this is not where we're being assigned to the job, but this is the job itself.
I think you might be onto something there.
Or we're being tested for the job.
I think you're also onto something there. You guys are very, very smart.
Also, maybe it's just the food.
Maybe we have to all eat it.
No, let's not touch the food. Let's not eat it.
Well, that being the case, then I'm going to hold up my hand, which you can see has a tattoo of scales being held up by a skeletal hand. I'm going to pass my hand over my eyes. They're going to turn black, and I'm going to cast Eyes of the Grave on myself.
Very cool.
What does that do?
Till the end of my next turn, I know the location of any undead within 60 feet of me. That isn't behind total cover and that isn't protected from divination magic. Worth a shot.
Yeah.
And I'll walk to the center of the room to make sure that I'm actually having a chance at seeing things that are around me.
hmm
You don't pick up anything.
Hmm.
Does anyone else want to try investigating the things or try looking at them again to see if we can get a better investigation roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
You say I'd like to investigate them.
I would too, yeah.
And go for it and tell me what y'all get, and I'll let you know what you notice.
I got a 21.
I got a 17.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Nice.
Okay, so you probably all noticed this, is you can kind of, looking at the paints, you can sort of trace the timeline of when they were made. And it's all the same man and woman. The first one is them, standing next to each other, really happy. As you keep looking, sort of the posture starts to change in some of it. And roll insight.
12.
13.
Okay.
That's also a 12.
Nice.
You notice that in some of the older paintings, from body language and just how they are positioned in relation to each other, it looks more and more like she's in a position of power over him. At first, they're kind of standing as equals, and then she's got her arm around him, and then he's sitting down, and the final one is she's standing behind him as it's in a chair, and just kind of looking at her face. It just she doesn't feel particularly nice.
Mm.
But that could also just be her face.
What race are they? Would we have noticed? Like, do they look human? Do they look elven?
I forgot to include that, so I'm gonna say...
Quick rip it, whatever you think is best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say elven.
Very nice. Well, she doesn't look like a friendly one.
Well, while you guys are all looking at a painting, I think I'm going to try this next door.
Mm-hmm.
Kramus walks.
Which one are you trying?
That one. He checks for a note before he opens it.
Yeah, there's no note on that door.
All right. And he grabs on, gives it a little push, and then a pull.
It pushes open this time.
Nice.
So he like pushes, pulls it back, and he's like, "Damn, got me again." He steps through the room.
Is actually a courtyard.
Ooh.
Oh.
And like usually courtyards are kind of in the middle of the building, but just with how it's arranged, it's centered more in the back. And it looks a lot more overgrown than what it was in the front. So it's like not as well tended to, but it's not like insanely overgrown, but just enough. And I don't know if you've seen any of these plants before, but they look kind of weird. Colis, are you following?
Yeah, no, I'm following.
Yeah, Kramus leans his head back through the doorway, and he's like, "Hey, anybody know anything about plants?" I don't. But Varus, I found a new place for us to hang out if we can't find a home.
Varus gets very... Yes, brother. This is doing quite nicely.
No one would even notice. We could hide underneath all these plants.
Just like the old days.
Just like back before Mum.
Y'all are making me sad.
We're very, very poor.
Depends on which kind of thing you want us to check on plants. I could try.
Mm-hmm.
You can just, whoever wants, nature check.
Start heading over.
That's not. We're gonna try a different dice, and maybe we have some more luck. That's gonna be a 15.
Okay.
Hey!
Ooh,
nat
it's all
20.
going
There
off.
it is.
My goodness. Okay.
And actually,
I got a 15.
that's right, you can roll history
Okay.
on this.
I'm gonna say, I got a nat 20.
Who got the 21?
That was me.
We got 20, we 15. Okay, so for the 15, these are plants that you've always been taught to avoid. Because either, like, coming into contact with them is going to be at least irritating, if not pretty bad for your health. And some of them you just don't want to eat unless you want to die. So they're random weeds and plants that are just kind of normal, but they're getting choked out a little bit.
I like to think they're discovering figuring all that out while Kramus is like,
Yeah, we could just hunker down right there.
Oh, it looks
No
so
one would see us
crazy.
beneath the plant cover. It'd be perfect.
Most of these plants, you touch them, it can hurt you.
I've got a 16.
Ferris pulls his hand back from like almost touching like a rose thing. Like, ooh. All right.
Yeah, but don't touch those either. Don't.
Looks like it's on the road again for us, brother.
You've given me hope yet again.
Ezra, what'd you get?
16 total.
You recognize some of them, even though you probably haven't that was sort of the pan version. Like, you know enough to know a lot of these are commonly used for poison.
All right.
It's for some really not nice ones, too.
Do I recognize any of these as something that I could quickly fashion into a bit of poisonous advantage on any of my weapons?
All intelligence.
All right. As an Outlander, it sounds like something that I would probably be able to do. That's going to be
Yeah,
10.
possibly.
Survival's +5.
You recognize some that would more of cause irritation around a wound than actually, like, poisoning. But it's a nice little extra FU to whoever you hit, so...
It's just about perfect.
It's like rubbing poison ivy all over a dagger and stabbing someone with it. It's insult to injury.
That would be terrible.
Suck.
I love it.
Put on my fancy black leather gloves, grab it, do the thing with the dagger, put the dagger back in its spot. Now it's a slightly irritating dagger.
Just the dagger of mild irritation.
It's like a lower grit of sandpaper. It's like, this is a little more painful.
Was there anything magical around the plants? like as detect magic, the timer goes up, I'll recast it.
Yeah. I mean, some of them might have like sort of like innate magic properties.
Okay.
It's just like more natural. As far as you can tell, there aren't any spells sort of active in this area.
Question, DM.
Okay.
From the map, it looks like there's these two either windows or doors on either side of the courtyard. Can we see those, or is it like that overgrown that we can't see those doors or windows?
I'm going to say you can kind of see them. Yeah, this is a door, and this is a door.
I was just looking at that. I might go check those out in a second. Does it look like there would be an easy path to get through these dangerous plants to get to one of these doors in the courtyard?
I'm going to say yes, because it's overgrown, but there's still a bit of a walkway. There's still a chance, like there's some like roots and stuff growing across, but it is possible to get from one place to another without coming into direct contact with the plants.
Awesome.
Unless you like trip over your own feet or something.
It's been known to happen from time to time.
With my nature roll, would I have known if the toxins would still work if the plants were dead?
That's a great question.
If you kill the plant, the toxin's still there. It's just not going to make any more of it.
Okay.
Are you planning to like take some with you, or are you just, the world does not need this particular bunch of poisonous plants?
I was possibly thinking about using frostbite on them to kill them that way to give us a better area to move in.
You can do that, but I'm going to say with the ice, you might make the ground slippery, depending on where you're aiming it. So then we might actually run the risk of someone tripping and falling into the plants. I mean, if you want to do that, absolutely go for it. That'll make my life more interesting.
That'd be awesome.
You could just burn the whole lot.
Well, the problem is that if the toxins are based on spores or any plant matter, then the plant matter that gets into the air could get in our lungs, and we could just have more problems.
Slowly, painfully, and very awkwardly, probably.
I don't like this place anymore. We should keep searching, maybe go upstairs or something.
Maybe so. I'm thinking, you mentioned that there was something on the entry door. This is sounding more and more like something that we're going to have to deal with either now or later. Maybe we should secure an exit before we continue.
That's what I'm best at.
Kramus walks back to the entryway door and tries to open it.
Hey guys, Brianna here with a quick message for all of you lovely members of the TTRPG community. We have a group of friends who needs your help. Go on Twitter and check out Homebrew Queens at Homebrew Queens and see what you can do to help these lovely ladies bring their father back to the table. Let's show them what community is all about.